Too
Oh,
silly.
hey, what's the deal? Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube world, we're back with another Big Game of Small Talk podcast. We got a lot to talk about in a little bit of time, so what's up first? Steve Wardell, what, Tomb Raider? Which one you guys want to tackle first?
We can tackle the DirectX 12 stuff first with Steve Wardell. Obviously, there was that interview that the Tick podcast had with him, and if you guys don't know him, he's like the Stardock guy, and he's pretty technological when it comes to like DirectX 12. I actually don't want to go first on this because my opinion might be a little bit shocking. So why don't we like start with somebody else first?
Okay, so you want to start with what? You want to? I'm sorry. You want to?
Hey, Worry, why don't you give your opinion on it first?
And man, I knew you were going to do that. It's going to be a bummer, man, if I start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear your
Well, I think that what you don't realize, I think DX12 is going to change the world. Don't laugh. I think it's going to make it a better place for me and for you and the entire human race. Because there are people
the anti-human race. There are people dying.
Yo, I'm waving a match right now.
I thought you already went into full verse. I'm sitting here like, man, I might as well join in, heal the world. But go ahead, Warren. I'm sorry.
I'm not into the tech. I just buy the systems and play the game.
Yeah.
You know, but what I heard sounded like if you have a PC and you have a high-end CPU, GPU, you're going to take advantage of everything that it has to offer. I don't know. I could be wrong. This is just what I heard based on my opinion and somebody who isn't technical. So take that in mind. But I didn't hear anything that made it sound like, you know, whenever DX12 is released, that, you know, rainbows and unicorns were going to come out of the Xbox One.
Right.
Well, no, you're right. He kind of took it into a level where he said, just like in last gen, you know, it's going to take some time for it to ramp up. But, I mean, my only thing with the whole thing that they did on the Tick podcast was Brad Wardell went back and forth a couple of times. He did a segment where he was just, like, so gung-ho on it, and then he backpedaled just a little, and then he pushed forward again. And the way, I think it's pretty simple here. I think, you know, instead of getting into fairy tales and stuff, I think we are looking at something that has a tremendous upside to this. I mean, there's a lot of plus that's going to come out of this, but it really does come down to the developer. If the developers use it, that's fine. Now, we know with the parity, you know, now the parity is going to come out, you know, where you have to do all third-party games the same. So we are now going to get slighted a little bit, I think, where you're not going to see DX12 used for the first year or two with a lot of the third-party guys. And you're just going to see it on, you know, things like, well, now we know Crystal Dynamics is doing exclusive work with Microsoft, and they've ponied up and let two other developers take on the 360 and PC. So we know that they're in bed with anyone who's with Microsoft, like Remedy, fully using DX12. We know that what we're going to get out of these capabilities. You know, we know what's going to happen. That's where all these charts come through. But I mean, it's going to be a bit of time until the Sony API, if you will, is created and utilized, and it's going to take a year and a half because.
Oh wait, hold up, not to cut it mooch, but didn't he say that what's the open GPU, the DirectX 11 right now is already better than what Sony has, as far as, you know, what they're using their version. And I believe that's what he said in the show.
He did say something to that nature. I thought the part that was surprising was that he was saying something about, you know, a lot of the games are still using DX9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's just to let you. That just gives you an idea of, like, that's why when we use our examples of first party games that came out in 360 on launch, and then Halo 4, is you start seeing, like, Halo 4 was probably using a little bit more of that DX11 type technology from last gen. And
well, said some game, they are, you know, because cross generation.
Right.
Games that have to run on a 360. And no, I'm sorry, again, I'll let you finish, bro. I'm not even going to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if you think about it, again, it does make sense because that's why this generation, or last generation, has to die and go the fuck away.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, it's not so much the party with these games because, you know, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are both DirectX now equivalent. You know what I mean? So they can't really go gun-ho and jumping out the window. These games have to, you know, even though another team is running, you know, handling the game, they can't go but too far ahead because they consider the games have to, quote unquote, that's where the bread and butter is at in the last generation. Not this gen, it's last generation. Between the PS3 and the 360, about 160 million consoles out, running rampant in the world. But what I gathered from what he was saying, games that are built, games that I guess is going to use Unreal Engine 4, with all these different engines, the newer engines that are equipping, DirectX 12 and within their engines, that's where the Xbox One is going to shine, or whatever's going to shine. You know what I mean? I guess it's not going to do nothing much for games that have already been made, DirectX 11 games. But from what I gather, maybe because I guess the PS4 is not going to have anything equivalent to DirectX 12. But I think it's going to hold on, my mic's coming out now. Where because Microsoft came out with DirectX 11.3. That's maybe where developers can still kind of use that. I guess, but I can't wait. I'm excited, man. He's saying 300 to 500% gains. Jesus Christ, just like I said the other day, if you don't think people are saying it's not going to have any effect
you don't think that it's 300 to 500% on the Xbox One? Correct?
No. Well, no. What the GPU? No. He said, well.
That's a trick question, though, Worry.
No, it's not.
Again, but no. I say it like this. At the end of the day, we don't know what GPU is in the Xbox One. From what I gather, what he said a 500% gain on a RX 290 or some shit like that. Like I said, we don't know what.
He said we were going to be playing games that look just like the end graphic ability that we saw on a Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
to me, that's 300%. Yes.
Well, yeah, but he didn't say on a console though.
He reiterated over and over again that the Xbox One will be taking, he didn't come out and always say Xbox One, but he said Microsoft, and then he said he did say console.
Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between the PC and the Xbox console? They both have GPUs, they both have CPUs, right?
Right, but you can have a different CPU and
exactly, and a different GPU.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if this going from what we know. This basic for what we know, not all the mythical, magical power that the cores can simultaneously, speak to the GPU. So it's freeing up resources on the GPU.
Right.
I would say there's games that are stuck at 900p or whatever the case may be, they're going to become 1080p. You know what I mean? And just looking at what they did for the tablet, the Surface Pro 3. You know what I mean? Increase the frame, like I said. If you don't think that's going to have any impact on the Xbox One, like that's not even That's just not being realistic there. You know what I mean?
I agree, but you got to.
The Surface Pro was upgraded. The graphics were Phil Smith said this was built with the Xbox One in mind.
But you got to remember what Mooch said. If developers decide to program specifically
for it, yeah.
Here's okay. Yeah. Again, that is what he also said too. And what else he said that a lot of programmers, a lot of developers are equipping DirectX 12 and into their new engines. It's the new thing on the block.
I'm not a technical dude. I'm probably not somebody who can.
Well,
the
thing that I was suspecting just from it in general, with the DirectX 12, I think a lot of people have their expectations and different little things that they want out of it. Me, I just want more things to do in a game. More enemies on the screen, stable frame rate, and I'm good. I can care less about the rest of it. And that's basically what I want. I want more enemies on screen.
Yep.
Just like how Assassin's Creed was, but it kind of got the frame rate was kind of all over the place. Can you imagine that game at 60 frames?
That's what he was saying. He said
that's what I want to see. And then
that's what you're going to see. That's exactly what he was saying. He said you're going to see a game with thousands and thousands of NPCs running smooth. And long as I got that, I'm good. I ain't complaining at all. I'm happy about it, because that's a tool.
Be a very specific. He also said it has to be. It's specific game to game. Like not every game.
Right.
1,000. Right.
Right.
Well, here's the game. Now, and listen. Here's the upswing or the downside, or whoever. What developers are not going to want to use it, and they say it's easier to talk to the GPU. You know what I mean? Like I said, DirectX is the industry standard. There's a new one out, the new kid on the block, hey, it's gonna make our games look better, more realistic. You know what I mean? We can push the envelope. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Already, which is huge. Unreal Engine 4. You know, Unreal Engine 3 ruled last generation. You know what I mean? Unreal Engine 4. You know, that's what it could all. Listen, think about this, Warren. What the key thing you said the Xbox One was beta tested in the future. I guess something that said the Xbox One, like I said, it struggles for whatever reason running last generation things. You know what I mean? Cross generation games. I think, like I said, the Xbox One really is going to shine on games that are just built for next generation only, with like Unreal Engine 4. Like, I'm just being real. Like, even when it's come out with this whole, and I'm just kind of jumping off with the whole Battlefield thing. Just looking at, I don't know what resolution fucking Fable is, but Battlefield doesn't hold a candle to it. Just being it graphically, you know what I mean? God damn, that game is gorgeous. Or even looking at fucking Quantum Break. Look at that goddamn game running. You see, looking for all images, everything you see is running on Xbox One hardware. You know what I mean?
I think that's what you got to remember, though. Look at a game. Look how good Quantum Break looks, right?
Exactly.
And that's without DX12. So
right. I don't know. Is it without DX12?
Just manage the expectations is all, because games are still going to look good.
No, but is it without DX12? Do we know that? I don't know what they're using.
Developing the game now, and DX12 isn't out yet. So
I mean, it's not out to the public. I'm quite sure Microsoft, whatever. This is their game.
I would say because there's levels of DX12 that you can use. Worry, I do think there's some DX12 in.
Yeah, I mean, they say that from the rip, you know what I mean? But, I think probably the first game is going to use is probably like Forza 6 or something, ray tracing is rumor, you know what I mean? But, that's going to be like I said. Well, even, look what he said. Put it like this. He said, this is a big thing we skipped over. He said that it's not that the Xbox One can't do 1080p. It said the developers said it's more than capable. It said that the developers have to use, I guess, what the Xbox has, like the tower resources and all this other stuff. It can do. So developers are being lazy. They throwing everything at the API and letting it handle it. And but that's not the way the Xbox One was built. You know what I mean? He says it's more than capable of doing 1080p. You know what I mean? You just got to use, the Xbox One.
Hey, I got a question for show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think DX12 is a very kinky API, the kind you don't take home to mom? She'll
never let your spirits down. I'll tell you that. Once you get up off the streets, ow! Not but all I was expecting out of DirectX 12, man, I keep saying this. I just want to see more to do in a game that where the way games are now is limited. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by limited is kind of to have the same pattern where developers only can do so much because of limitations.
No, it's cross generation. They either
that too. So whatever the case may be, but it's some limitations to what they can do. Now, if you can broaden that out and create bigger worlds with more to do, I like to see where we can go in and out of like the stores and stuff instead of just having certain spots in games like with your Grand Theft Auto and all that little stuff to where you can go in just about any building, and be able to walk in there freely because you have that available. I don't know. I want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect DirectX 12 to be this big old power thing where it's out performing, like out just blowing the PlayStation out the water. I think they both on par with each other. I just think the tools that Microsoft they have so much exposed for the developers to use. It's just phenomenal, man. So if they take advantage of everything that Microsoft gave them at their disposal, these games should look great.
Anybody listening to this podcast, if you have expectations of what Showstopper just said, then you're in for a treat these next couple of years because that's what you're going to get. If you look at what Brad Wardell has put up on Twitter and given video examples, it's not that it's graphically more amazing, but he shows like space games where before there was like 3 craters and 10 stars. Now there's 1,000,000 stars and 50 fragments coming right at you, and it's all happening real time. And it is blistering quick, and it just gives you that feeling.
I think somebody did he cut out?
No, he's still there. He's still there.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I hear you.
That's what I think you'll get out of DX12 is you're going to get that more NPCs, more stuff happening, that more immersed real life world. Like you said, Joe, you have GTA, right? So you walk into a building. The building may have nothing to do with the game, but you can walk into it and there's people just congregating in the mall. They're just doing their thing. So that's like an avenue to go in and out. Like that does add to the game, which doesn't graphically do anything. Like you said, we don't need it to look any. We're all impressed with how games look today. If the game can do more, then it's a success. And I think if people listening heard what you just said, that's what you're going to get. So I think you really that's the way I'm looking forward to it. That's
Hey, you know what I think DX12? You know what I think DX12 has already done?
What's that?
It's made. We've been going 10 minutes now, and crap hasn't said the word Sony.
Crap hasn't even talked.
Yeah, well, I was looking for like a point to jump in, because
let me finish. Let me finish. Hold on.
No, because usually like I don't know,
a compilation now, a whole collection of games. What was going on?
Go ahead, crap.
Yeah, I'm here. But anyway. Yeah, I'm here. So anyway, like my opinion is probably not going to be that popular because, like, you know, it was cool. Like, yeah, you hear DirectX 12 and Xbox One was made with that, but I think that it was made with that to set up the next generation and the elongated generation. We're not going to get really hardly any benefits of it anytime soon. And the big thing that I would make is the Xbox One doesn't need it. You know, look, Rise was done without it. You know, we're getting a lot of these great games without it. And the tools themselves are getting better. So I think a lot of people, and even Xbox fans, and I'll say, hey, we're expecting a totally different console, and that's not going to happen. You're getting, be happy with what you got because it's a damn fine console. And even one of the things that did excite me from what Brad Wardell said was these things are so powerful, we're not even scraping the iceberg what's in them right now. So that's what got me more excited than just, anything about the DirectX 12 because he did talk a lot about PC games and things like this, and then he was clear to mention that, hey, most developers, third party, aren't going to get anything from DirectX 12 till the end of this year, so you're looking at maybe 2 years after that before you get anything with implementation fully, you know what I'm saying? So you could be looking at, 2017 or 2018, and the Xbox One launched in 2013. That's 5 years into the life cycle. I mean, hell, by the time people actually use that thing, PlayStation 4 will be just about ready to get Street Fighter 5. So, I mean...
I knew he would work.
He going to work it in there. He has to throw that jab.
But I just think that, a lot of people have, like, these a little bit unrealistic expectations. I think it can do fine. I think it'll do good with first-party stuff before that point, but I just think the fact that a lot of people are like, it's going to make it more powerful than the PS4 right now, and it's going to, that's not going to happen. Look, the PS4 has more raw horsepower up front, and they're able to raw horsepower their way to stuff like 900p on the Battlefield Hardline beta. They can do that with raw horsepower, but the Xbox One, I think they're more relying on, like, some of the software tricks and things like that.
Well, here's the thing, again, and I agree with you, and then as far as I like this, the PS4, the way that it's built is what you get is what you see is what you get. Whereas the Xbox One is going to continue to keep going, and it all boils down, like I said, I'll say this again, you can have the most fastest car in the world, but if you don't have the keys to cut the goddamn car. Like I'm gonna say this, we learned a lot from that leak from that dev kit. Even down to like the GPU, like the monkey. Microsoft didn't give the developer. No, I'm sorry, when they made all these things started coming out saying that the developers were complaining about the ESRAM was too small and that wouldn't do these sites. That what we didn't find out that they didn't even have the kits to access the ESRAM. The way that they wanted to.
Yeah, and they couldn't. They weren't allowed to start doing tiled resources till November of last year.
Yeah, because because and it was because now because of that GPU that whatever the case may be, they had a Are you hearing a lot of what, Gordon? It should flash before my screen came back in. But I would say this. Once I would give, like I said, but within a year or so.
There's a lot of breakup.
Yeah, I do. I know we had a bad connection. I don't know why, but we get to really got a shitty connection. It's hopping in and out. Maybe I hope the audience is not hearing it. But like I said, once the dev kits become more mature. And I will give Sony this. Their shit was more mature at first. I give them that. I just don't see Microsoft giving themselves. They gave AMD $3 billion, bro. You know what I mean? not to have a least powerful, because that right there doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Here it is, Sony spent $475
But you got to remember though, Microsoft is in the PC market too. So I don't.
I'm just talking about what they spent before as on the Xbox.
Yeah. Look. I don't think this is the thing. This is the thing, as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, they didn't have any kind of. They didn't know they were going to get blindsided with all this resolution stuff. I can guarantee you, they didn't know that. No generation before this has been that focused.
There's a lot of breakup tonight.
I can't hear any breakup.
You got to let it go, Warren. Just keep pushing.
I don't hear any breakup, so I'm not sure.
I don't hear it neither.
Everybody's pretty clear. I do hear a little bit of like a disconnect, but everybody's clear.
Yeah, but anyway, so like I'm saying is, now I lost my train of thought. What with the
the resolution?
Okay. Nobody really even worried about it last generation on consoles. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they got blindsided with this whole 1080p stuff is unfortunate. You know what I mean? And it sent them scrambling because nobody cared. Obviously, if people cared that much, they would have been talking when Xbox 360 was getting 720p and PS3 getting 540. You know what I'm saying? And nobody did. Nobody was caring. Nobody cared. Like, if I were to ask the average PS3 fanboy, hey, what resolution was Killzone 2 or Killzone 3 or any of the Uncharted's or God of War's? What? I don't even know the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? But and the funny thing is, you'll get information on the resolution of a game before you know the release date of the game. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't even be an issue.
That's the sites with this shit.
Clap. Let me just add to this because you're making a really good point and something that Brad Wardell touched on yesterday. Here's the deal. He said that he didn't use the word lazy because he's talking about his own peers, but basically what he was saying was they don't want to do the extra work involved. He said the Xbox One is completely capable of hitting 1080p. Absolutely no issue. Yeah. He said that they are using the current API. And don't get me wrong. Okay, listen, I'll use a quick example. In my own job, we have like a statement of work, things we have to get together. Could I, instead of writing my own statement of work every single time, I either take an old one, rehash it, send it back out. You know what I'm trying to say? All they're doing is, instead of writing something from scratch, which with Microsoft's tools that they gave them to make a better product, they're just piggybacking off of the very simple API, which is basically like a plug and chug, and that's what it is. And that's not enough because they're not using the SRAM, they're not using this and that. Now, that concerns me a little bit because now, like you said, with DX12 is not this easy thing. It's easy that Microsoft has implemented it into Unreal and Unity, but it's still going to take some work on the developer side. Now, are they willing to do that? If you asked me 12 months ago, I would have said, these guys are totally going to do that. Why would you not want to do that? But now I'm seeing, and I don't care, I'm not in the business, I'm going to call them lazy as fuck. They're lazy fucking people right now. They don't want to take the actual opportunity and the tools to give us the product that the machine can do. And that's bullshit.
I agree, but check this out. Like, these people have their engines and stuff already built. They don't want to sit there and rewrite code and put in DirectX just for right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's fine.
I think in the future you probably will see some of this, but it's something that's going to happen probably years from now. You know what I mean? And I think that's a little bit unfortunate, or it just depends on how you look at it. Like, I played the Battlefield Hardline beta. It looked good. I didn't know what resolution it was. I thought it looked pretty good. So I thought the frame rate was pretty solid. And I think that a lot of people, like we included, were saying, hey, I'll take 720p and 60 frames per second any day over a shittier frame rate and a little bit higher resolution. And I stick by that. But there's a lot of Xbox fanboys that just don't want Sony to lord something over them. But you know what? Those Sony fanboys are going to lord over whatever they can anyway. Look, even when Xbox One hits 1080p, how many times did the Sony fanboys still find something to claim victory over? Oh, it's got more grass. It has more particle. It has better lighting. So no matter what happens, you're still going to have that. It's so stupid to get in a pissing match over this stuff anymore. And I, for one, am like really sick of it because you're going to have Digital Foundry give the clear edge to PS4 every time, no matter what.
Absolutely, but this isn't my argument. My argument's not the pissing match with the PS4 guys, because like typically most of those PS4 people and NeoGAF people, they're all like 15-year-olds to 20-year-olds. What I'm saying to you is, my argument is, I bought a machine that can do, 1080p, and what I'm saying is, you're not doing your job, okay? That's my problem, okay? Let me tell you this much, crap. You said you've been playing Z. You've been playing Plants vs. Zombies. I bought that day one, digitally. Bought it day one, boom. It was 900p. Somewhere about 4 months ago, my son and I, we played all the time. We turned it on, and I turned to my wife, and I was like, yo, this looks different. I'm like, did they do something? I immediately went to Google, checked it out. I wrote Xbox One, Plants vs. Zombies, and it was like Xbox One Plants vs. Zombies is now 1080p. And I noticed the difference. And here's my thing. It went from 900p to 1080p. Do I need it? No, I don't need it. But that's bull that they're not giving it to us. Now you're saying, and I do agree with you a little bit, Crap. If they're not doing it with current day stuff we have right now, which is DX9 and 11, if they're not doing it now and utilizing the ESRAM, this is going to be a wasted product of DX12, except for first-party games, where we're not going to see it because of two reasons: laziness or quote-unquote parity, and that's bullshit. And that's not what I bought, and that's not what you bought.
Listen, here's what you're forgetting. You guys are all forgetting. These developers are not developing for one console. They're multi-platform developers. If they have to develop for multiple platforms, they're not going to take advantage of something.
Yeah.
They're not going to take extra steps if they don't have to. If one platform, in particular the PlayStation 4, is easier to program for, is easier to get more out of, that's what they're going to develop as the standard. DX12 is not going to be the standard until, like Crap said, late in this generation or even into next generation.
But you know what, Rory? But not even so much DX12. Take that out of the equation. He said the Xbox. He didn't say it's more than capable with the X12. He was talking about where it is now. What's inside the box? They're not using the Xbox proprietary.
Yeah. Well, I think
But they're not using it because they're multi-platform.
And maybe we can end it with this. And this is all that I'm saying. I don't see Microsoft spending $3 billion with AMD to get something to be, 720p and 980p.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you about the money, but I think they didn't spend $3 billion just so that the Xbox One could work with DX12. A lot of that money was put into the PC side of DX12, not just the Xbox One side.
Nah, from what I gathered from what they break down, that $3 billion, the contract they signed.
For Xbox. It was for Xbox.
The custom, whatever the hell,
custom chips.
But Microsoft doesn't. They don't. I mean, as far as DX12, that's just the software. That has nothing more or less to do with AMD or NVIDIA. That's just the the API. Whether NVIDIA, because that DX12 is going to work with NVIDIA also. What MSI? Who else makes GPUs? What I'm just saying, they gave them a $3 billion contract to custom whatever as far as the Xbox One.
You know what?
This is nothing to do with the X12. Take that out of the whole equation. But what Brad Wardell said, the Xbox One is more than capable now. You know what I mean? And I understand, just like the same thing with the PS3 last generation. The Xbox 360 was easier to develop on. Was used to what the developers in the industry were used to using. Now here it is, the Xbox One is something, I'm not saying it's something new, but they're not using it to its full potential. Is what I guess what Mooch is saying. You know what I mean? And if it's going to cost them more money, prime example. Look at it like this: when games they said were struck that weren't going to be 1080p, like the big multiplayer, Microsoft sent in devs. With as far as the GTA, the what's the dungeon crawler game? Oh my God,
Diablo 3.
Yeah, Diablo 3. These big multi-platform quote unquote that couldn't get the 1080p, or even the soccer. That was going to come out, with on the Fox engine, that was going to be 720p.
Destiny, they did the same thing, but it's like...
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, and they get it 1080p, but then they lose the face-off anyway, and the Sony fanboys still go wild.
Yeah. Well, that's because of the biased media crap. We can't...
we can't get caught up in that.
How many people do we want to fight? The PS4 fanboys. There's the media. There's the devs, the lazy ass devs.
You know what? I'm starting to blame the devs a little bit because how often are they promising these things now? Right, and it's not just Xbox. It's like the PlayStation as well now, right? Battlefield Hardline. Last year we heard, we're going after 1080p, 60 frames per second on both the PS4 and the PS4.
It's the same.
Yeah, and then the same thing with you had Dying Light. Oh, that's going to be 1080p on Xbox, and then it turns out not to be. And they said it was going to be.
I'm just saying, but what is the rest? I don't even know what the fuck it is.
I don't even know. I know it's not native. I know it's not native.
Before you guys call us a hypocrite and say that you guys said resolution doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if
it matters to me, I can never tell the difference.
Like I said before, no one has a TV that's 900p both the Xbox One and the PS are both upscale. No one has a 900p TV. You know what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
I hear a lot of people saying they're not going to take advantage of DirectX 12
Who's not?
for console. Well, you said they're saying, like Warren said, that the developers is not going to take advantage of it.
I mean,
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish. Now, I can see it, them taking advantage of it, especially if they making these same multiplats on PC. You know what I'm saying? So if they programming for PC, you know, and they using that for PC, and PC is the standard, and it's being ported over to the Xbox One, I don't see no problem with them going that route instead of the route that they are going with the console.
Good point.
I think Microsoft's being smart. You know what they're doing, Z? And I'll tell you this, Joe. What they're doing is they know devs are going to give them a hard time with this. So what Microsoft does, Windows 10 free for everybody. That's the kick in the pants. Because now everybody at home, everybody's got Windows 10 that's running 7 and up. So now developers that are making PC games have to use DX12.
Have to use the DX12.
Right?
So now that's an easier port for the Xbox One.
It's already been proven with Forza 5. Okay, Forza 5 that they did a 20-minute port from the Xbox One to the PC and vice versa. So once they get it going and everybody's using it and developing on DX12 on the PC, it's an easier port now than even the PS4, and that's Microsoft's strategy.
It's going to save the money. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work, but that's the strategy.
They're setting themselves up for the future as well. Like I said earlier, they want that to be the standard for the next generation so that they have the easier time, because one of the advantages the 360 had was easier to develop on, which meant they got the better versions, and then they just ported the games over to the PS3, which got the worst versions. They're trying to set themselves up in that position again for the next generation.
So listen. We were talking earlier, Crap and I. You know, if you're sitting at home and you think that like the Xbox One has to have this secret sauce in order to be a good console, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
There's Quantum Break looks great. Halo 5 is going to look great. Scalebound looks great. Fable Legends looks great. You know, the idea that somehow you need some secret API to enjoy your box. If you're waiting on that as some sort of vindication, you have to manage expectations.
Set aside $2,000 and buy a PC at that point.
Right,
there you go. But real talk, Microsoft need to come out and say what they need to come out and say what kind of custom hardware they have in their box.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's why it's a whole lot of doubt and all this other stuff that's happening and everybody. What is going on with next gen?
Let me just add to what you're saying. The reason why they can't and they didn't say that from the beginning is because they had this NPD's non-disclosure with AMD and different. They still, you know, all of them still have not been lifted yet on the Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
I think this is GDC this year going to be.
Just GDC. I'm going to say this, and maybe you can put it to bed if we go to something new, and not so much to put everything on the back of the X12. Like I said again, it comes down to the dev kits. They're still putting out new dev kit, you know, and updating, you know, the software. You know what I mean? Just take DX12 out of the equation. Not until that dev kit that came to think about it came out in December, where developers were able to access the ESRAMs. We don't know what else they're not able to access, or what other tricks for these new dev kits that are going to come out that's going to get the. And this has nothing to do, like I said again, with DX12. Now, as far as these game developers or whatever, is the people like Epic or whoever else that's going to implement DX12 into their new graphics engines. That's, you know, I mean, so any game that's built using the Unreal Engine 4, guess what? DX12. Any game with, you know, Unity or Snowdrop engine, boom, automatic DX12. You know what I mean? So that's the thing for Capcom and whoever else to implement DX12 into their new, and what you're saying is pretty easy to do, into their new graphics engines or whatever the case may be. Just like I said, just going from what we know, and we can go some, that it makes it easier for, even on the developers, for the CPU to talk to the GPU. Which is going to, like I said, is going to free up resources. You know, they can use for graphics.
It's funny you say that though, Z, because I'll tell you right now, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what you're saying, and I think everything you said is gold. But you know, you got the Kojimas and the Capcoms, and those freaking Japanese companies, they just don't like us, and that's just the way it is.
But think about what.
Damn, crap gamer style racism right there.
Oh shit! oh, you know what, this rice eaters. But listen, at the end of the fucking
Me so
day,
sorry.
no,
Me like that.
you know what I'm
Me
saying?
like
But
that
at the end of the
rice.
day, though, but listen, whether they like, and listen, I'm not going to say it because so we're going to damage control with the whole conspiracy theory. It's not whether they like it. It's not they're going to be forced to use because here you got Windows 10 and all games are developed made on Windows. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you easier to use DX12 with Windows 10, it's a fucking no-brainer. Like I said, I think they kind of put out DirectX 11.3 is so, you know what I mean? So, you know, but again, the Xbox One and even the PS4, I think they're going to shine once they stop using DX9 and cross, you know, make, you know, cross-gen games. That's
Who the hell has got the stopwatch? Is that a stopwatch or something? Jesus.
I don't know, it's Phil Spencer.
If I was
click,
Phil
click, click,
Spencer,
click, click, click.
if I was
Click,
Phil
click, click,
Spencer
click.
and I was friends with Peter Moore, like over at EA, I would go over there and slap him in the face. Like I'd be like,
Why?
what the hell? Well, because Battlefield.
Oh, Battlefield.
Like, why? I would be like, honestly, after all this time, you have another guy making 720 on it. Could you at least do 900? You can't match it. Like honestly, I close the door and I smack him in
on the
the face.
PS3, the 360, and the PS3, right?
I mean,
Also,
it's ridiculous.
that's again, I think that is going to be once we move away from last generation, which is really holding this generation. I always say the consoles are holding PC back, but now the 360 and the PS3 is still holding, you know, the Xbox One and the PS4 back because that was, I think, last year was probably the most successful console generation in history.
Absolutely.
Never had, you know, competitors selling 190 million per piece across the board. It was either one big winner and one low loser. You know, everybody won last generation. The Wii U, 100 some odd million. The 360, 90 some odd million. The PS3, 80 some odd million. Or 90 million. That's never been done before in the history of gaming. Now, I hope, again, this generation doesn't last as long. You know, no goddamn.
Yeah, but the thing is, though,
years.
see, that's the thing, and that's why I kind of make this stand today on the show is because I thought that we were looking at 4 years, maybe 5 maximum with these consoles. But after listening to Brad and seeing what's going on and the way DX12 strength is, this is going to be another 8 years. So where I'm pissed off is like, you know, when you have all these people that are, and that's where I'm not. It's not depicted. Look at Xbox One sales. They sold 226 units in Japan last month. All right, don't tell me you can't. Nobody can sit there and tell me the Japanese don't care for us. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Give me a break. So,
They're salty over something. I'm not going to say what.
No, don't even go there. No, but I'm saying like
You know what it is. You know what it is. Black ain't yellow, black ain't yellow, black ain't yellow.
I mean, so that's why I say like when crap was like it's not, it doesn't really matter. Here's my point. We have, it's like when you go to a hamburger place and you say, I don't know the difference between 720 and 1080p. If someone advertises Angus beef, I don't really know if they're giving me that 75% lean. But you know what?
You know
They'll
all
tell
about
me
it.
it's Angus.
Don't lie.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like we've been told that this is what this machine can do, and Microsoft's doing everything it can to get us that 1080p. But then the minute it's a multi-plat, they're like, well, you know, we were kind of tired. You know, so we didn't really get to it.
Well, hey, we don't know the final.
buying
We
it.
don't know the final resolution of this game, though. I mean, they haven't come out and said
care?
it.
Can
I
ask
don't
you a
care.
question?
This is what I'm saying.
Let me ask
I
you a
personally
question.
don't
Give me
care,
some-
but
give me some-
I care as a
Not on
consumer,
the
not as a
air.
gamer.
Oh, I have to give you what? Give you what,
Nobody
Warren?
cared about. Listen, nobody cares about this. Forget it. Just forget the word resolution. I didn't know. Did you play Resolution on the PS2? Did you play Resolution on the PS1? Did you
No.
play Resolution on the OX, the OG Xbox? Did you play Resolution on the NES, the SNES? You never did until this generation. Just
agree that. Yeah, I said that
Yeah.
earlier. And not only that, I'll take it a step further. Is like if you really do care about that, get a PC, spend a lot of money on that.
You know,
But at the same time, why worry about, like, a lot of people are talking this or beating their chest over the beta resolution? Who cares?
but no,
It was a
what?
beta.
You know what, crap? I'm gonna say this to everyone. You are right. If I think it is silly for console gamers to argue over resolution or frames per second. That's not what a console is for. You know what I mean? It's, you know what I mean? And like I said, we all have to keep, not just all, I'm just saying, I think people that are thinking the PS4 and the Xbox One are some supercomputers, they $400 machines. You know what I mean? Ain't but so much at the end of the day. But I'm going to say this, is that at the end of the day, it should be about the games. And being that the PS4, Sony, that's what really you hear this on their end. They don't have the games really to beat their chests about. So you know what? We can't, our network is not better than Xbox Live. You know what I mean? So they what could we tote that our machine has or this doing that they don't have? So, you know, you have this whole quote-unquote resolution gate thing. I think it's the silliest shit. You're right. Last generation, we didn't hear about it. And it was Sony that came out of the gate saying 1080p, 120 frames a second.
Yoshida made bold claims like, hey, 1080p makes you a better gamer. But he said that. He said 1080p makes you a better gamer.
Yeah. Again, crap. But Sony has been talking about resolution. That was last generation, saying the PS3 would do 1080p, 120 frames per second. They're making the TV to be able to handle that shit. You're gonna need 2 jobs. That was Sony with that shit.
I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with this generation. In this generation, they finally believe Sony's power story. They've been selling power for the longest, man. Since the PlayStation 3, that's all they've been selling was power. And they failed horribly at it. And
well, they lost
PS2
it,
wasn't so much a power console. But PlayStation 3 is when they started talking about these graphics and these ducks in the tub, Pixar graphics and all that other stuff.
No, that was on the PS2 with the
That was the PS2.
That was the PS2
That was that
was the 3.
No, that was the PS2. That was the PS2. They showed.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only that,
ducks in the tub with the PSI toy.
They were promoting that because at the time the only competition was the N64 and the Dreamcast, and they were trying to prove how much more powerful they were, and that's what they were relying on. But the problem is that now they had games to back up that so-called power back on the PS1 and PS2. They haven't had that so far with the PS4. They did with on the PS3 they had some good games and some weird games that ended up being pretty good. But it seems like they're going just strictly after graphics now. It's like they threw gameplay out the window. They're like, we don't need that because we need graphics. That's what they're saying, because you look at some of the stuff that they put out and it looks good. Like what is that racing game they have, Drive Club or whatever? It looks good, but as the gameplay goes, everybody says it's crap. I from playing it a little bit at the store, it handles really clunky. It's not a really good handling racing game, which is important for a racing game. You know what I mean? You have Infamous, which people say are boring. Some people like it. Some people like it, but okay. I mean, that Infamous is Infamous. And then what else did you have? You had Killzone. Killzone, which looks great. You have Killzone that looks great, but the story and the gameplay is so boring. You know what I mean? And then you have things like The Order coming up, which looks good again, but they're saying, hey, it's really boring, it ends really quick, it's QTEs, the gameplay isn't tight. You can try to compare it to Gears of War all you want, but if the gameplay isn't tight, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of red flags here for Sony. There's no way. We've sat here, and whether you're speculating or you're not, there's at least Next Gen's had like 10 videos on it where he's done at least 8. He's done bets with people on these games that are coming out this year for the Xbox One. And all we can say, and the 4 or 5 of us, we are so into this, and we know what's going on, and the most we can come up with that, besides Fat Princess, is The Order, Bloodborne, and Uncharted 4. That's it.
Uncharted.
That's it.
Well, look at this, analyst, and I have and I actually got linked to this article. It says, even though the PS4 is selling well, Sony has clearly dropped back their development for first-party games. They clearly have done that. It's public.
Quick segue here. Jamie Morin, who's the big Star Trek mem guy or whatever, he just said you guys should talk about how Sony's so quiet now on the 18.5 million. They've released their numbers, and we haven't talked about their numbers, which he makes a good point.
Well, what they did was they said, okay, well, we sold 6.6 million, but then when you look at their thing, it says from September through December. So for some reason, they ended up with 4 months in their quarterly reports, which is weird because Microsoft's was 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure. Like, some people were saying, well, no, it's this, but there were 2 different articles that I read where it said that they were reporting from September.
They here's what they did. They added those sales from September.
But if you do the numbers right, if it's from September and it was 6.6, let's say it's all PS4, even though it wasn't. Let's say it was all PS4. That's fine. If it's from September, this 18.5 was mentioned when? End of December?
No, January.
January?
Yeah.
So you have what they're saying. That's but if you do that with the 13.5 announcement,
I thought that was in December.
Yeah,
that's 19 million.
December.
Yeah, you know what? That doesn't make
saying.
any fucking sense. That's 19 million.
Yeah, the numbers are nowhere near
listen,
27
in October. Oh, you're right. Fuck that. They about to get this. They about to get this work. At the end of October, they said they shipped 13.5 million, and now their quarter report comes out, and they said they shipped 6 million in a quarter, and they said 18.5, 6 and 3 is 19 and a half, 20 million. Something ain't adding up there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's Sony. I would just leave it at this. And people say we're damage controlling. Their biggest months, they lost November and they lost December decisively. You know what I mean? To Microsoft.
You're gonna lose it again next year too.
They lost it, okay? You know what I mean? And you're saying, you lost your two biggest months. You know what I mean? The two biggest months you lost clearly, and then you're saying that you lost, but you still ship more than your competitor. But then like that is, to me, doesn't make any sense. But you say tomato, I say tomato.
Right.
Microsoft. Then there's like you said, what is it? October, November, December, 3 months, and Sony's saying September, October, November, December. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. And I don't know. That's just Sony. That's Sony, man. They some. I don't, for them to be a Japanese company, there's some jokes, some slicks is there, man. They like, I think of a Japanese, but all about the honor, down on the sword. Them jokers be born from Peter to pay Paul, man. Them jokers cutthroat, man. They be doing all types of shit.
Well, their whole culture. I actually got a message from somebody who was Japanese, and he's like, he was a fan of me and the show and stuff. And he's like, as a part of Japanese culture, they don't like to admit when they're wrong, and they don't like to, they don't like to show a lot of transparency with business. Like people that think we sit here and this isn't just for Sony, but any business is going to kind of make things look better than it actually is. Any business is going to do that. So to believe that Sony wouldn't do that too is just asinine, completely asinine. Look, they've been caught at it before. They got caught false advertising multiple times, creating fake people to review their movies. they do this stuff a lot, right?
Who was they paying? Cisco and Ebro. They got caught with some movie shit a couple years ago, back in 2005. I forgot all about that shit.
Yeah. They
fucked up, man.
They created fake reviewers to give their movies good reviews.
Man.
Yeah. So they're not above doing some of this weird stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. People are gonna.
It sounds good though.
It does. It does.
This shit up.
They think you're crazy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we're not crazy. It's just, if you don't question some of this stuff, then I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That we're haters, and you're absolutely right. And like I said, Sony. I mean, don't give me no company, no business is perfect. I'm gonna say that. You know what I mean? Not say that Microsoft is squeaky clean. But when I think of a company, who would I trust more? Honestly, I would say Microsoft. Sony has been, this is what they do. Like I said, they always, if you listen to my problem that I always have, so they always over-promise and under-deliver. Like I said, E3 2000, all the ducks in the tub. I'm thinking I'm going to see games like that. Never came. Then, of course, E3 2005, we seen it.
Oh, my, that was the biggest joke ever.
Again, the Killzone they showed at E3 2005 looked better than Killzone that came out in 2013. And, oh, my God, when they had the silver boomerang controller. I'm like, oh, see this shit? I'm going to need 2 jobs, Grandma. Who are so like I said, Sony always does that, and I think, and again, I think that on the internet, like I said, this is the vocal minority, or young kids that don't remember all that. See Sony putting rootkits on people's computers, just to see if you were downloading shit illegally, they can take you to court. They got sued over that shit. You know what I mean? They was putting shit on people's computers illegally.
The whole reason that PlayStation Network got hacked in 2011 was because they kept giving away features. One of their big things that they promised was you could have Linux installed on your PS3. Yeah, and they took that out, and then that's when that guy leaked.
I forgot that guy's name. The iPhone
GeoHot. Yeah. He leaked that afterwards. He's like, you guys promise us this, and then you take it away. It's ridiculous, and so that's why he leaked how to do that. And then they actually, they took him to court and stuff.
They tried to persecute him, and when I said they tore Sony ass up, they tore Sony ass up.
Yeah, I mean you can't keep messing with with people that way, and it's like the funny part is Sony gets a free pass with the media a lot of the time, and I think that's kind of a mistake. Like I think somebody was mentioning to me something about. Devil May Cry or one of these games make a, the HD collection coming to the PS4 at 1080p, and they only mention the PS4, even though the developers clearly say same res and FPS on Xbox One. So I think it's all kind of plays into each other a little bit. If you don't think there's a little bit slight media bias, then open your eyes. But
isn't that what the game was about? People.
Yeah, that's what it originally was. That's what it originally was.
Keisha Sharkey. What's her name? Sure.
Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, Sarkeesian. People say they're gonna rape me. People say they're gonna rape me during the game.
It wasn't even about that. If you look at what it was originally about, it was journalism gone amok, and how these people like pick and choose what to cover and what not to cover, and they kill stories and stuff behind the scenes, and they take favors to review things favorably or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what it was all about. And what happened with her was, like you guys see it, we all have our comment sections that go out of control. Like, it'll start off talking about, like, I'll do a review for a game, and then 3 comments in, it's all about, hey, fat ass, what about this? Or, you know what I mean? It's like it turns into a totally different direction, and that's basically what happened. And then, the threat started and all this stuff, and she makes a big deal out of it, and all gamers are sexist and misogynist and all this stuff. It was ridiculous. But I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. Next Gen, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday! Which version you want to have us sing? You want to have us sing Stevie Wonder? Stevie Wonder version?
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Hey, listen. Hey, Next Gen.
Yes.
We all pitched in and got you the most powerful next-gen console, the PlayStation 4.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Shit, the gloves is old. These jokes
Hey, you gotta wait for greatness though. So
I thought, Ward, that would have been great if you followed it up with the Wii U.
With the Wii U. You know what? There's something we can talk about. We didn't talk about this. What do you about Nintendo with this show shit? Well, we did kind of, but now it's coming out a little more that they with the whole partnership with People Channel. Now they're saying that you can't have any videos that are non-Nintendo to have, for them to consider that the partner. That's crazy as hell.
They are crazy. They need to stand up to Iwata because this is old school Japan right there. You know what I mean? It's free advertising. Even Microsoft gets this. They're like, hey, it's free advertising. We're not going to, people were up in arms when Microsoft changed some wording around to keep people from claiming that they're actually Microsoft, right? That's all they were trying to do, and people flipped out. Yet Nintendo does this, and people are kind of flipping out, but some people are lining up to do this.
That's crazy as hell.
You're only getting 70%.
But not even so much that. Well, people say, well, that's still good. No, listen. If Arm & Hammer is going to pay you $1 to advertise their product on your video, YouTube's automatically going to take half of that. That's 50 cents more. And then, then you're left with the 50 cent left. Then your partnership is going to take whatever they're going to take, 30 or 40, and then you're left with whatever's left of that. It's wrong, man. You know what I mean? And then they're saying you can't cover games that are not on the thing, and if you do, they're going to keep your ads completely. That's crazy as hell, man. And if you're going to partner your channel with Nintendo, whoever's going to do this, all you can have is Nintendo stuff, nothing else. You can't talk about it. You can't talk about checkers, Monopoly. All you can talk about is Nintendo stuff if they're going to partner your channel.
And it has to be basically first-party stuff too, right? Like
it can't be no third-party games, nothing else. Only first, and that's on their list. So if you're going to partner, listen. Well, I'm a Nintendo fan. Even if I was an Xbox fan, if the Xbox were partner channels, cool. If they're going to tell me all that I can talk about are Xbox One game, like no, I'm a gamer at the end of the day. That's the craziest shit ever. Well,
I was already doing that stuff. I mean, nothing changes for me because I don't monetize my Nintendo stuff because you can't anyway. But I can dot that I.
No, you can definitely dot that out. But again, it's
everybody know crap is thuggy. Real
gangster. I'm gangster. But look, even if you look at their biggest, one of their biggest games that come out this year, it's Splatoon. It probably puts me in line of Plant vs. Zombies. There's even no voice chat on that game. You have an online, co-op, an online, game like a Plant vs. Zombies, and there's no voice, there's no communication.
That's what just goes to show you that even if Nintendo does have this big next-gen console coming out,
I'm not buying it.
they're still going to be light years behind because they don't have achievements, they don't have chat in place.
Yeah. I mean, the system can do it. They just don't want. They don't want the adults talking to the kids.
They don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, the Nintendo NES console is going to be more powerful than the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's it's going to come out. It has to be. I can't support that. I'm sorry, man. They're just too strict. You know what I mean? And they wonder why again that their console doesn't have a presence really on YouTube. No one's really advertising their games. No one's what I mean. They're too strict, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't. That's not cool, man. Like let me be the parent. If I don't want my kid talking online, let me. You know what I mean? They probably want to be everyone's parent. You got to, you know what I mean? Like you can't. Look what they did with the 3DS. It's unfortunate some guy hooked up with some young girl or whatever the case may be. That's fortunate. But they took all communication away from the handheld. You know what I mean? Like, god damn, you got more adults in it. I just think it's crazy, but there were a lot of adults that that played the 3DS or whatever. They took away all communication whatsoever on that platform. After that happened, you can't stop the evil in the world today, and that's the way they look at it. You know what I mean? If somebody, God forbid, that does happen, you can't stop it. I mean, it happens on Xbox Live, it happens on PSN. You got some weirdos out in the world, but that's up to the parents. You know what I mean? Not you. Everybody else shouldn't suffer behind that shit, man. And that's what they think,
Yeah, I agree. Well, it sucks because I was like, oh, here's some good news from Nintendo. They have this new Netflix Zelda series. I'm like, hey, that sounds cool. Because Netflix does some good original stuff, and Nintendo's opening up because Nintendo said they would never allow their IPs to be used like that again. Because the Super Mario movie sucks so bad.
Oh, damn.
So they're coming out with this new series, and I think even Sony is making a Mario.
Yeah, they were in talks. Yeah, they was in talks.
Yeah, so that's cool. So they open that up, but then they're like, hey, we don't want people to free advertise our games. That to me makes no sense, and that's so stuck in the past. Like, no wonder they're not doing good. And I like a lot of their games and stuff.
You do.
Man, how can you not have voice chat? How can you not, move into the future a little bit with online gaming? It's 2015.
Yeah, well, again, like I told you guys, I bought the Wii U it's like I was taking a step back when that system can do the basic things that the original Xbox did. I get a lot of slack for hate on Nintendo, but like to me, that shit doesn't make any sense. Like, the Xbox Live came out in 2002. Here you put on a console in 2012 that can't do the basic shit that I was doing back in 2002, game invites, mandatory, voice chat, mandatory, join session in progress, party chats and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's
Nobody even bothers to take down or DDoS that shitty system, their online system. Because who would know, honestly?
Yeah.
I mean, that shit wouldn't even trend. Xbox Live PSN goes down, that shit trends worldwide. But Nintendo Network, people wouldn't even know that.
No. It was down? Oh, shit. We can talk together anyway, so how the fuck we know? We can't.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? When you got a bunch of 6 grown-ass men drawing pictures of Mario in the Miiverse. Hey, Mario! You know what I mean? But nah. I think, again, Nintendo does make some unique games, it's what they're good for. I give them that. I mean, all of them don't appeal to me, but I just think it's asinine to this day and age that they just can't get with the times, man. And you have some diehard fans that just, I like Nintendo, and because of this, I don't need that. But I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you use it or not, there are other gamers that, just take you out of the equation. I don't want to have to talk on. Well, I can talk on Skype. Why I do all that for? I got a system right here. I got to do all these back alleys, put the phone on speaker. That's the craziest shit in the world.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of going online is to meet new people to game with and stuff. It's ridiculous to think that you would only want to keep gaming with the same people over and over again.
But how do you meet
call them up. Yeah, exactly. You got to go online to meet them.
How do you meet people? I know you're going to be cool to play with. And Nintendo just refuses to. That's why I said I can't support that console, man. None of the games, and I wouldn't bear none of two. It looks like a kick-ass game, but again, I just can't get with that shit, man. And I can't speak about. One guy said, well, if you boycott this game, that's going to send Nintendo the wrong message to my Splatoon. They're not going to make any new IPs. So you just say, hey, fine, Nintendo, just keep force feeding me this shit. I'm gonna take it. No voice chat, cool, man. This is how you want companies to listen. You guys were so vocal about the DRM and Microsoft saw their pre-orders slipping. What did they do? They changed it. I didn't have a problem with it, but that's just me. I gotta take myself out of the equation. I didn't have a problem with it whatsoever. I don't use games, and I don't trade games and that shit anyway. But if you want Nintendo to listen, not saying that they're already hurting, as far as sales and stuff, but their exclusives, so their first party games do sell well for that platform. If you want them to listen, you have to, with your dollar. That's how you get these. Not all these petitions, change.org. That's not going to change a goddamn thing, They don't even read that shit. That's how you make a joke listen. You hit them in their pockets, in their wallets. That's how you make a joke listen. All that. We're going to send out 1,000 emails to Nintendo of America. They don't want to hear that shit. Yeah. People have been talking about voice chat and all that stuff since the Wii. 9 years ago. This ain't nothing new. They know what the game was wanting. People been asking. This ain't nothing new that people have been asking for achievements and party chat. They've been asking for that shit for years. So I think they're gonna continue to do what they do, man. So what's going on with Tomb Raider? What's going on with Tomb Raider?
Oh, okay. Well, there was that information in Game Informer, and they released some screenshots that look just phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
That really looks good.
Let me ask you a question around the board. We saw the Uncharted demo, right? And I said this, and I think that Tomb Raider.
It looked janky, that Uncharted demo. I'm not.
That's what I said, but it's neither here or there. But when you think of Uncharted, I thought of Uncharted. That's what's going to really push, the graphics of the PS4. And I said the same thing. It didn't look that amazing to me, but hey. But to me, like I said, Tomb Raider. Just by the pictures, like I said, I think Tomb Raider is going to be a better game look graphically than Uncharted 4. Same type of games we compared it to. I think Tomb Raider is going to blow the doors down, man.
Well, those franchises are going in different directions. The Tomb Raider reboot was phenomenal, and Uncharted 3 was a letdown in every way compared to Uncharted 2. You know what I mean? It was like there was a lot of bugs and stuff. But this is the thing, that Naughty Dog and the name Uncharted will get it really good scores regardless. Like, people were so quick to give Uncharted 3 great scores, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, there was glitches everywhere. You had to reset the game often to finish it. There was like a lot of problems with the frame rate because they made it 3D compatible, and yet it got a free pass. Whereas Tomb Raider 2013 was phenomenal, and there's so much more you can do. Yeah, there's so much more you can do with that because it's still telling her story, how she becomes a Tomb Raider. She wasn't really there. And, she wasn't the Tomb Raider, as in that first story. So you're developing that with Uncharted. You just, okay, here it is. He's the dude raider. It's kind of a, and the first one was real goofy. The second one was great. The third one was back to being goofy and kind of full of problems. So I'm not sure what they expect with the fourth one. I'm sure it'll be good and people will like it, but will it be as good as the second one? Every franchise has a peak. Uncharted. I
think we saw it too with Gears of War on the 360. That last Gears of War was horrible.
Gears 3 was probably the peak with that.
Yeah, that's what I said. They should have stopped it right there. I think three games on in the series on the platform with that generation is more than enough. When you're going 4 and 5, I think that's when it becomes. I think they went to the bank 2 times.
Well, Yoshida hates annual series, so obviously Sony hates Call of Duty and they hate Assassin's Creed and Madden and FIFA and even Major League Baseball, the show. That's a yearly thing, and that's a Sony property. So he hates all of it. He hates all of it.
Let me ask you guys a question. When you said an annual series, I think maybe one game that has suffered from that is probably now Call of Duty and of Assassin's Creed. Call of Duty bombed out and they get no nominations or something. So they was let down. What was it? Dice? What awards were they? They said that Call of Duty bombed out and get any awards. Just recently, I was reading the other day. The developers said they was a little let down by that. What's the last awards that came out? Was it
the Dice Awards?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and they didn't get any nominations for anything. They said they were let down by that. You know what I mean? But
they were let down. But guess what? I mean, and when you look at the top-selling game of 2014, even though it came out in November, it was still Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's Activision. They got both of the top selling games of this last year, Duty and Destiny.
And they got Skylanders, which is a $3 billion franchise.
Duty, Destiny, and Skylander. That's all they fucking need to do.
And they got World of Warcraft, and they got.
Yeah, I'm just talking about for on console. Yeah. But damn. What can they make anything else besides Duty and you know what I mean? And
they make some decent stuff here and there that goes unnoticed, and then they make a lot of shovelware too. Like they made a really terrible Walking Dead game a couple years ago. They made some really good Transformers games though. The first two on the 360.
The first two. I forgot.
Really, really good.
The first one was awesome. The first one was because
I liked them. I liked them both. I have the third one. I just haven't had time to play it yet.
Yeah, you guys the same boat as I am. Every year I keep saying I'm not going to buy Call of Duty, but I buy it every year.
You know, if they come out and say World at War, if they come out and say World at War 2, I'm in.
World at War 2 is going to be amazing if that's what it is.
No, they said that last one. I mean, I just read that with this new Call of Duty that's coming out, so it's been in production for 3 years. They've been making it for 3 years, so I don't know what's good.
I think Worry is busy watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I let you guys go on your little.
Who'd they kill off, Worry? Come on.
Sony rant.
Come on. Who'd they kill off, Worry?
I'm not watching it. I'm watching it. I was here listening.
I'm
gonna be honest. I went back to playing Titanfall, man.
Yeah, I did too. Dude, I've been looking for people to play with, man. You guys should You know what's funny is we got to the point where we do our podcast and never talk during the week anymore. We're just like,
hey, you know what? The ranking system on Titanfall, the new update ranking system there, for you can level up and stuff, is nice.
It is nice.
I ain't played Titanfall.
They had Titanfall on 360 on sale like the other week, so I bought it digitally on there just to mess around with it, and it's like a completely different game, and it's like it plays a lot slower on the 360 obviously, but I was just like interested in it. I like double dip on achievements sometimes because they're really easy, but yeah. So then I hopped on the Xbox One version, and that game is just like I hadn't played it in a couple months, and so it's fantastic. It's super fast paced and. You know, you just
I forgot how fast that game is, man. And when I went to go back to play Call of Duty, I'm like, oh no, it's two different pace. It's two different pace, and I like Call of Duty, the Advanced Warfare. I'm probably one of the ones that do like it, but I like Titanfall a lot better. Right.
Hey, guys! I heard this rumor that this podcast is going to be interviewing Respawn Entertainment on February 17th.
Shameless plug. Yeah, man, we're gonna. Yeah.
I hope I can make it.
Yeah.
What time is it at?
It's going to be 6 Eastern.
Okay, that's
on the 17th.
Yeah, on the 17th. That was basically the only time I could get. And so it's gonna be fun. So make sure you guys check that out. And hey, shout out Jay Williams because he was the one that made that awesome graphic that's floating around to advertise it.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Jay.
Yeah, he does.
Shout out to Jay.
He's the official graphic sponsors of Big Gamer Small Talk and Crappy Reviews. So use him. He does a damn good job. So if you guys like the graphical work and stuff that you see, hit him up on Twitter and stuff. He's a cool dude.
He did my logo and everything for me.
Did you guys
see my banner for my channel too? Y'all go check out my new banner on my channel.
Phil Spencer tweeted out that damn screenshot. Did you guys see that?
What happened?
Phil Spencer tweeted out the screenshot feature that's coming.
Oh yeah. I seen it. He let that slip. Yeah, he let that slip. Yeah, so I'm happy I got my new dev kit or something. The game beat
beat drop or whatever. Yeah. Oh damn, Showstopper, that's a nice ass thing, man.
Yeah.
Damn, he went all out on your thing, man. That's badass.
Yo, you looked at it. It's nice,
dude,
man.
That's awesome.
Hey, my banner is nice.
Dude, Showstopper's got the best banner out of all of us now. What the hell? that's badass, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy. That is nice.
That is, man. Yeah, man. I'm peanut butter and jealous, man. Come on, man.
Peanut butter, you just getting jammed in a jiffy, bro. That's all it is.
I am, man. That's really nice, man.
That is nice.
Well, no, I mean he helped us all step up the presentation of our channels and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's cool.
Yeah.
That's important. So I'm into that. Maybe what are we gonna start getting some questions, some calls, or something?
Yep.
If you guys want to call
next
in.
Year.
He fell asleep.
Oh, they got it. I don't know where next gen. He'll probably up underneath that table with that midget.
Yeah, he is. Hey, if you guys want to ask some questions.
He got a strange love affair with these midgets, man. Y'all don't know.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, no, I had to unplug the microphone so I can get this set up.
That was a serious quickie, man. You just had with the midget, bro.
Hey, guys, listen, if you love that you want to call and ask the show, give us a call right now. Zaire720, give us a call right now live, and you can get on the air. In the meantime, before we get our first call, are there any questions in the comment section? You know, we can go over real quick or answer or tackle.
Hold on. I'm refreshing this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see here.
Choo-choo.
Let me press the page my damn self. That crap look like those pictures you will see in the stream.
You got one right here. What is he saying here? Hold on. Made a lot of shooters. A lot of people. Damn.
Oh, hey, Gundam's dude says, hey, crap. When do you think Rare will announce Perfect Dark for the X1? I know for a fact that it's happening since Phil hinted at it on Twitter. I don't recall Phil Spencer hinting at Perfect Dark, though.
Yeah, somebody said that. Somebody said somewhere that they were hinting at them redoing Perfect Dark.
A few years ago, Don Matrick canceled the reboot, which was going to be a dark, gritty Perfect Dark game.
I'm about shooted out, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think between Gears and Halo 5, maybe we do think, that's why I said I'm not even going to buy Battlefield.
I heard they were going to make it third person or something. I don't know.
They definitely need to change it up, man, because first person shooters is like, it's flooded the market with it. Man.
Yeah.
There's like too many of them right now. You know, they even did Grand Theft. You know what I'm saying? First person mode. I'm like, man, that's just too many. I'm tired of that view right now.
Well, I got a good question for us. But listen, guys, if you're watching live, you want to call in, don't be shy. Zaire720, you can call in live. But Mojo Sieta, Mojo, I know I fucked your last name up, forgive me. It said Quantum Break is using DX12, the Order 1886 isn't. And both games look great and the best in their own way. Could you argue either one which looks better when they both release? I don't understand why fanboys argue with DX12 and PlayStation 4 when both the Xbox and the PlayStation seem to be capable of great-looking games. You're right. But I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I haven't seen API get this much attention ever. I don't never hear anybody talking about DirectX 9, 10, or 11. I don't know what it is with DX12.
I don't think it's the API. I think it's just this generation of people who aren't gamers, or they're not console gamers, because console gamers never talked about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think now
it's a little strange. It is a little strange.
I think it's weird. Which looks a little bit more open-ended and a little bit freer, like to the Order, which a closed-off experience. It looks like.
The fuck?
You know what I mean? I think it's,
Crap, chop this.
I think it's weird.
Hey, Crap, hop back in and hop back out. Oh, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, boy, that boy sound drunk in the mug, boy. Good night.
Well, as far as the question goes, yeah, there's great looking games coming on both platforms. So just forget about what the developers have to do to make the game look good, and just look at the game when you're playing it and enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. They said, what's your take on Persona 5? The graphics look like Vita.
Oh, yes. It put me in mind.
Don't talk about Persona 5.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm excited about that game.
Yes.
That's one of the games I'm very excited about. They're coming out on the PlayStation 4. Hopefully it's going to be good. I can care less about the graphics. I just know the open worldness of it. Everything. That game going to be nice.
Yes.
The story, everything going to be nice in that game.
Listen, that game put me in mind of a low-budget Jackie Chan movie.
I don't get the hype. I think it's one of those games that's going to get hyped up by the PlayStation fan base and sell like shit.
You gotta be into that
But
stuff.
no, listen. Hey, hold on, Joe Sandy. Hold on 1 second, bro. He hung up. I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway, I want to say this. People talked last week. Was it last week or the week before last? We talked about AAA, and I looked at the sales for Persona. Blue Dragon on the 360 outsold it. Lost Odyssey on the 360 outsold it. You know what I mean? So again, that to me, I don't look at it as a big AAA game that sells.
It's a niche product. It's very niche.
And it sells. and they sell. Someone argued me down to about this a big block, and I was looking at something like that.
I'm gonna tell you next gen. Sales don't matter, man. The quality of that game and what that game entails of. Trust me, bro. That game is nice.
Preach it, brother. Show.
Hey, yo.
I'm just telling you, it ain't got nothing to do with sales. That game, I'm telling you, y'all go ahead and dog it, but it's nice, man. You gotta be into that game.
It's nice for you, but it might not be nice for everybody. You know,
I ain't saying it was everybody's cup of tea, but I'm saying it's a good game.
Like for me, like that weirdo Japanese stuff isn't for me personally. I'm not into it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta be into it.
It's like that Naruto stuff. I never got into that. I don't know what the hell a Super Saiyan is, or I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't. That shit's all stupid to me.
That Xenoblade looked nice too. I'm getting to that.
Yeah. See, now the Xeno or whatever is decent, but I had played that. I've been playing that for a while. You know what I mean? And I kind of like. I've gotten used to that battle system where, you know what I mean? To me, anyway, plus you need something to play on the Wii U. Jesus.
Oh, my God. You got Hyrule Warriors. Man, come on.
Well, let me force the page here. I don't know what the hell happened to our caller. I don't know. This mic cut.
Well, it said Project Code Z reveal.
Hey, someone's like, damn, Mooch, you've been quiet for a minute. Mooch is like watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's watching The Walking Dead.
You did the whole Nintendo thing with the monetizing. I don't have a channel, and then, I don't do the Japanese games, so that's not my thing. You know,
There's only been very few Japanese games that I've liked, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of Zobi's channel, and I think he's hysterical. I think his show's great, but he gets all excited about all these Japanese fighting games, and he's like, I can't wait. And then you go home and watch. He's like, come on, watch me. You watch him play on his channel, and I'm like, he's cursed. He's usually upset with the game that it sucks or something, but he can't wait to play it. And the whole thing just looks like something that like maybe you would have talked me into if I was 13. But I just can't get into that stuff anymore. I don't know. I need a little bit of story, something going on, and that whole like anime thing is that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not for me either. I think Square Enix trolled everybody with that Project Zero shit. They trolled in.
Yeah.
Okay. Lee Rogers, what's going on? You gonna pick up? You got a question?
Okay, well, we move on.
Okay. All right.
Where's all the regulars at, man?
Here's a question. He said, is the PS4 going to undercut these upcoming exclusives also because they can't compete with the X1 exclusives at the end of the year? Undercut? I mean, I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You mean far as price cut? If you talk about a price cut, Sony already came out and said they're not slashing the price on the PS4. If that's what
I thought it was funny how they said they won't when the real word was they can't.
Yeah, they can't. Exactly. I don't know. Let me ask you, Ward, you're pretty good with the numbers. Did they make a profit last quarter, or I just want to say did they win money or did they lose money?
Who?
Sony, when they released
Are you really asking me about numbers?
No, hold on. The PS4, that particular section made money, but Sony as a whole lost money.
Okay. All right. Drake Sanders. Where you calling from, bro?
Hey, man.
Hey, where you calling from? Hello. Drake.
He's calling from your house.
What you say? Drake. Hello. Drake. Going once. Going twice. I can't hear you, Drake. I don't know what's wrong with your mic, bro. You want to hang up and call right back? I can't. Can anybody else hear him?
No.
I'm sorry. What you saying, guys? What you say?
You were asking about numbers. I have no idea what.
I was just saying that yes, the PlayStation hardware or whatever it is made money, but the Sony as a whole lost money, and they're still posting losses. So you know what I'm saying? It's here we go.
Not even small losses, too. Crap. 1.4 billion.
Okay, what's going on, Drake Sanders?
All right, quick question.
Yeah, shoot, man, shoot.
When am I going to be able to sleep with Next Gen 720's mom again? It was great.
What did he say?
Oh, okay.
You want to sleep with Next Gen's mom?
all right.
That's what's up.
Okay. What's going on, Roscoe Truman? What's your question for the show today?
Jeez.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Hello.
Roscoe.
We can't hear you, Roscoe.
That's my boy. That's my boy Thor, ain't it? Ain't that Thor?
Yeah, I believe so. But we can't hear you.
There's a question for Warrior Ward. He says, I don't know if anyone's asked you, but what's your most anticipated game in 2015 for PS4? And are you expecting any surprises from Sony at E3?
Question for me.
That's to Worry.
This is Sony guy.
Well, I think everybody's saying like they don't have any games. You have to wait until they announce, right? So we're gonna have to wait to see if they announce games at E3, which I'm sure they will.
Worry's gonna buy everything on Sony console because he's a Sony guy.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. I know you guys are having a hard time with that. But anyway, whoa!
Everybody that's listening, if you're gonna call in, it's Zaire720. Is that it?
Yeah. Hey, Thor.
Zaire720.
Hey, Thor, you got a question for the show?
I won't answer the rest of that question then. Sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a bad fucking connection.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Hello, someone.
Yeah, it's kind of cutting up today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. I'm gonna just skip this part. Hey, Thor, if you're trying to talk, Thor, we can't hear nothing you're saying. All right. I don't know.
Insane. XLV says, what do you guys think about the Alienware Alpha?
Well, again, I think I didn't have my itch for PC gaming. I'm just not into it. I'm fine with the,
like I see it. Walmart that I go to has it right across the street, right across the way from the Xboxes and PS4s, but I never see anybody looking at it.
Yeah. Thor, you got a question for the
I can't hear you either.
You can't hear us, Thor?
I just know the word was a pain in my ass.
Sorry for being a gamer and not.
Hello?
Oh man, that's funny.
Hey, listen, I'll make it all better. Microsoft's the best. Microsoft rules.
Finally, Warrior's being honest.
Wait, hold up. Wait, time out. Wait. So they're selling the Alienware inside stores?
Yeah, they're selling it, at least at my local Walmart. They have it.
Oh,
wow. They have its own display.
Then that is I didn't know they were selling this thing, and so it is in direct competition with the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U. I didn't know that.
It's $500, or it's $500, and it they advertise it with an Xbox One controller and everything.
Okay, all right. Matthew, what's going on, Matthew? Got a call for the show? This shit is horrible today, fellas.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Hey, Matthew, going once. Hello?
Probably still got that mic up.
There he is.
That's the Walking Dead gods are speaking.
Matthew.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, that's the last one. This Jay we call answer. What's going on, Jay? Oh, look at this shit. This shit is horrible, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize. I don't know what the hell's going on with this, Skype and
the mic that he hooked up.
Let's go to the comment section.
Yeah. Hey, Jay. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. That's the guy that does our. Shout out to Jay. That's Jay Williams. You know what I mean? Hey, we can do 2 more questions in the audience, man. And we can head out.
Let's see here. We have
Yeah, this shit is not working. I'm gonna hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry. We're gonna try to get next week as far as questions calling on the Skype because people that are calling, I can't hear anybody. I can't hear nothing.
Hey, Weedy says, hey, next gen, do you think Tomb Raider will be 1080p 60 frames per second because of DX12?
No.
No.
If it is 1080p, it'd be 1080p 30 frames per second.
Yeah, I don't see them going 60 on an adventure game.
Yeah, and again, I'm not for Tomb Raider. My expectations are low because it's a cross-generation game still. If you asking me, if you ask me about Quantum Break, will that be 1080p? I think so. I don't know if it'll be 60. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. As long as the game is great, man, and then I don't care what resolution it is. It can be 240p. As long as the game is fun and it's great, that's my most. That's what I care about. Anything else comes second. The resolution doesn't really matter. I'm just being truthful, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't matter to you guys either. If you care that much about resolution and frame, you know what I'm saying? Not saying you don't want the best your bang for your buck, but you know, gameplay and stuff, that's the most important thing, you know. At the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Hold on. All right.
I wonder if you're getting on that guy's nerves for saying that.
Jabari?
No, Thor.
Thor crazy, man. That's my boy. Yeah.
Jabari?
Yo.
No, not you. Because you know I got Skype on my phone and shit too. And Skype just ain't working. I don't know what the fuck going on, man. That's just bad.
Yeah, it's something with Skype probably.
Hey, somebody wants to know when you're joining the Nintendo YouTube network next gen.
When am I joining?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know no Facebook groups and stuff like that for Nintendo groups.
They got a few.
Somebody have any? You know, send them to me. I'll let it go over there.
The Wii U, man. They got a couple groups. I'm just saying, I'm going to join the Nintendo network when Princess Peach to take that on a date, man. When she has set my wedding proposal, that's when I'm going to join the Nintendo network, man. When she take me when Princess Peach on a date, man. We got 2 more questions in. If not, we can shut it down now. It should is.
Shut it down.
Yeah, we can shut it down. The white guys want to watch Walking Dead.
It's over.
Oh, okay. We got Jay Williams here. Jay?
Hey, how you doing?
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it.
All right, what's your question, Jay Williams?
So, let's just get over the whole fact that Microsoft is going to buy Sony.
Oh.
Sorry, if Microsoft is going to buy Sega.
All right.
Was to buy some of the franchises from Sega, what would be your choices? My choices, of course, would be Shenmue, Shinobi, or Golden Axe. What about us?
Oh, wow. I would say Altered Beast. Street Rage, and Virtua Fighter. What about you guys?
I would say I like the Panzer Dragoon stuff, and
it was horrible. Jesus Christ.
And Shenmue, you know, obviously would probably be one. Just you know,
I want.
They definitely should get Shenmue.
I want Hang On and Sonic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can agree with Wart there. I totally want a reboot of Sonic. I think if Sonic was done completely different, utilizing that character, it'd be nasty.
I would like some of the older games. Like, I think, again, that's where Sega can make some money. If they take some of their old, like Golden Axe, like a $20 arcade title, like with next generation graphics, I think they can make some money there. You know, like the Streets of Rage, redo that, and like next generation graphics with graphics like $20. Like that will be, and put it on both platforms, the Xbox and the PC. That would be, you know, a huge hit for them. Cause they got, you know, like the last, you know, the Shadow Dance and all that shit. They got some huge hits. Sony got some shit. You know, Sega got some shit. You know, and of course, you know, Shinobi is huge, but you know, I think that right there is gonna take a lot of money for that game to be done right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but it is right. But thank you guys for watching the show live. We appreciate it, man. Jay Williams, thank you for the graphics. You cool dude, man. Stay on hold too, Jay. Don't hang up. Like I said, yeah, for sure. Thank you, man. Thank you for the awesome stuff here that you did for our show. But anyway, thank you guys for watching live. We're gonna catch you guys next week. It's been real. Big game of small talk. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.